All right, we're back on. We got these Datsuns, some of the early Datsuns. The 70 Datsun 2000, 68 Datsun, before they became Nissan. And then they decided to put into the sports car market with these turbocharged Z cars, 280Z. I think they had Jim Zorn advertising these ones. He was doing commercials for them. Another Datsun. Is this a Z? A Z car.
240Z.
A 240Z. See these cars here? All these people having a good time looking at them and walking by. More Datsuns. Little cars that get good gas mileage. Or so they say, they get good gas mileage. They get good gas mileage because they're small. A Fair Lady, they call this. No, they made a model they called Fair Lady. Well, we know now.
And then roll 3 times. And you both got up and walked away. Kicked it back over on the wheel, started it.
And now we go across the street to where we hadn't been before. See what's up here. I have a vintage hydroplane.
Sure, enjoy the rest of the show. You can go to
Little ones.
American Powerboat Association, or you can go to Farm, HARM, that's the local hydroplane museum, and you can look at our schedule where we're at next and all that stuff. I normally have schedule pretty good. Oh man, did you look pretty fast?
Good seeing you, man. Take care. I was talking about that, yeah. Hit me up.
That's $14,000.
More Chevrolets.
Hey, an acronym's fun every so often. But
oh wait, it must have been from the hot dog. That one? I know, right?
See the USA in a Chevrolet. This is Ford.
I even told you it was a satellite.
stop it though. Single reservoir, no power brakes.
It stops.
Kinda.
Well, I have a car with a manual steering.
Well, yeah,
With not manual steering, but manual brakes.
I got a 71
Drums front and rear.
HO car 4-speed, and it's got stand brake.
You just got to stop before you hit somebody. That's all. Holy smokes. Cute little Corvette. A large economy-sized Oldsmobile. Back from the days cars were castles on wheels.
It's immense, that thing.
It's a castle on wheels, that's what it is. A land yacht. They have fires.
Yeah.
Rat bastard. Looks like more of a conventional 8-cylinder. Says rat bastards. That's what it says. And proud of it. And what do we got over here?
Yeah.
Holy moly. $1931 Ford. Look, whichever side of the street has the prettier cars.
Which baseball is this?
Look on this side of the street where they're in the sun. The Rat Bastards Car Club. That looks like a flathead V8. Boy, they do get fancy with the hold down nuts.
That car.
I always thought it was kind of amazing. They put a lot of fasteners on those flathead tops. I guess they didn't want the gasket to blow. Oldsmobile Rocket 455. For sale, 60 grand.
See the visor?
I'm too busy looking at the price tag on this Mustang.
Oh shit.
I remember when you get a car like that for like $600.
Yeah, it's called the 780s.
No wonder high school kids of today are jealous of my generation. They look at this and say, oh my gosh. We got these boring cars with check engine lights. And spark plugs you can't remove by just screwing them out.
Yeah, it's a Dalmatian.
And we got an SS over here with some really cool American cars.
That's because they all want to be in the shade.
In the shade.
Thanks.
What, you running for office? Me, I'm afraid to run for office. I might win.
They don't
Ooh, got some radiator fluid dribbling. Here comes the judge. Here comes the judge. Come a later model GTO. It's a 428 4-barrel. At least that's what it says on the clear. Firebird. What year is this Firebird? 68? I was kind of wanting a 67 of 326.
What's that? You wanted a 67?
67 of the 326. I would love to have that because I'm very familiar with the 326.
And it's yellow.
Oh, it's yellow. Were they made with 428s?
What's that?
Were they made with 428s?
Are you interviewing me? I don't want to lie. Yes, of course they were.
Right, take care.
That wasn't just an aftermarket edition, and you just slapped on the cubic
Aftermarket edition.
and you slapped on the cubic inch badge.
It's a 305 with 428 badge.
Oh, a 305 with, and you lie about the
It's a
displacement.
428. It's a real 428.
428 in
There's
there.
off a 69 Pontiac Honda.
Well, yeah, that's where you find those.
It's the same engine. It's the same size as a 400.
Well, the thing is the bore is the difference.
Yeah.
And over 400 cubic inches, they went from 3 3/4 stroke out to 4-inch stroke. But the 326s, 350s, and 389s, 3 3/4 stroke, just different bores. The thing about the 326 is that you got a big water jacket around those cylinders,
Yeah.
and so
I
they
don't know
can
that.
last a long time. Well, the outer dimensions are the same. The difference is the bore.
Inside. Yeah.
Yeah, but the cylinder wall has to be pretty much the same thickness. You see.
Okay, I get
So
that.
you get the smaller bore for a 326. You can't just bore it out and make it a 389. That wouldn't work because your wall would be too thin. But the wall has the same thickness. So all those extra cubic inches is water jacket.
What's water jacket mean? I don't understand that.
Around the cylinders, you have a cooling water jacket. It's what goes through the radiator. You see the hose from the radiator go to the engine and back? What circulates around the heads and the cylinders,
Okay.
and around the cylinders, the water jacket. If you have a larger water jacket, that's exactly like having a larger heat sink on your computer. Because what destroys your CPU are the heat spikes. Well, it's the heat spikes. If you got a larger heat sink, the spikes don't go up so high.
I used to drive one of these.
You see, and that's why a larger heat sink can preserve your CPU, as opposed to a smaller one can allow it to burn itself. But with the 326 engine, you get a heat spike with every power stroke of the piston. But if you got a larger water jacket on there, the top temperature of the heat spike isn't quite as high. So it's a smoother flow. So it has to remove the same amount of heat from the motor, but with a larger water jacket, you don't have the high heat spikes. That's why a 326 engine can last a long time. You can get 200,000 miles out of each rebuild of a 326.
Without doing anything else, just maintain it. And
oh yeah, oil changes and spark plug changes. You know, I mean, and the thing about those engines is that most of the problems people have with those engines can be solved with the oil change and tune-up. That solves it. Oh yeah, the tree fault drop stuff.
I can feel the tree falling on me.
Bits of pieces of tree. Well, have a nice day.
You too.
Gonna go look at some other cars. And what do we got up here? We got another GTO. Looks like 66 or 67 GTO. Convertible.
I thought this was GS.
67. Holy smokes. Lots of truck space.
Oh, like $300.
400 in this GTO? Should be. Oh, that's a big old tack right there. Okay. Across the street, we got another GTO with the convertible top on. Fabric convertible top. Fancy heads. One thing I like about this little shelf here in front of the radiator on these cars is you have a lot of places to put your tools when you're working on it. Lots of places to put your tools right there. Very convenient. 67 GTO convertible. It's probably a 400 engine if it's original in the 67 GTO. They went from 389. They increased the bore up another 16th inch and got 400 cubic inches. Sometimes they called those 6.6 liters. Kind of a marketing thing. Camaro. I like the turquoise green of this GTO. Bucket seats are in excellent shape, as you can see. I like the fancy battery hold down clamp. Plymouth. Look at the size of that Plymouth. Fury 3. My ex-wife had a Plymouth Fury 3 at 67. Kind of wore out eventually. I hear a motor. I don't know where the motor is. Here's Chevrolet. The 53. Look at that crazy hood ornament.
Brand new, old and light, old and new. Everything was like you said. It had to be replaced. It did. That's the first one in Wallingford. And I got that picture here last year. And I framed it. Frame cost more than the frame would be like $39.
Little Ford Model A, I think. Showing off the little engine there. That's what's running. Somebody's running the motor across the street here. This is the 80th. All the way down the 80th. Let's listen to this motor run. Doesn't that sound great? Air cleaner. The fan's not connected to the... That's an interesting setup. I prefer the fan to run off a belt connected to the crankshaft of the motor itself. That way, as long as the engine's running, the fan's running. And the water pump. Look at that T-Bird. No, Corvette. This is a Corvette. This is a re-enter the atmosphere Corvette. Just like the opening scene of the Heavy Metal movie. Smokes Chevrolet, full size. Back when full size cars were full sized. Oh, got a little gold plate trim. That's it. That's an extreme. A Cutlass that is not gutless. '59 Chevy. Impala. Have there had any problems with these trunk lids not sealing? Look at that. Fancy back end. Showtime. Kind of like the Edzo trunk lid.
Mr. Cool in the shades over here. All the way to you from Greenwood, Washington. Tyler's claim to fame is that his grandmother was the bartender at the Viking Tavern in Ballard. It's one of our proudest things that we like to celebrate. Tyler Johnson, everybody.
Another hot rod Lincoln.
From high school graduate.
1961 Lincoln. 462 cubic inch engine. Six, it says.
Total detail, mobile detail, IDA certified. We got stickers, you guys want stickers?
Cadillac. Probably got an inline 8. '41 Cadillac. It might be an inline 8. Look at that long nose. And for a couple years, Cadillac Motor Division stopped building cars, started building tanks and Jeeps and stuff like that. Big old Fury. Holy smokes, what the heck is this? A low windshield. 51 Merc.
Smell the funky smell.
54 cents. Is the parade of cars starting? Rumble, rumble, rumble. That a Pontiac?
Yeah, 57.
A pre-wide track Pontiac. Didn't think I'd ever see one alive like that, but there it is. Tramp. TR6. And we got another Corvette.
I like that.
Little deuce coupe. Looks like a vehicle ZZ Top would drive. All these people. And there's no way I'm going to get releases from all of them. Hope none of you are wanted by the law.
Sometimes you like.
There's a 56. Oh man, just talks to you. Look at the clock. Just talks to you.
Oldsmobile.
Super 80.
The power brakes were such a big feature. Look at that on those.
Oh yeah, right on the pedal.
Power brakes. Whoop, pardon me.
Sorry.
Plain Couture. A Ferrari. What do you know? Look at the size of that Oldsmobile.
Beautiful 40D in a great tasting. That is.
I know who everyone is. I know nothing about them.
Charlie started dialogue with him recently. They were going back and forth. It went down.
Lots of 56 and 57 Corvettes at this show. Seat belts.
You know, maybe time.
Would Bonnie and Clyde have survived if they wore seat belts? No. Lots of Ford V8s around here.
Yeah, you need to go back over there. Marshall wants to talk.
Okay, I'm just parking here. I'll walk around.
48 star flags.
No, I can't. You would be definitely.
Thank you.
They got the bouncy ball. I'll let you get off.
Empty.
It goes probably maybe half a block or block.
Oh boy. 1939 Zephyr.
Tom, he stops and talks to her.
Look at the Cadillac. Kind of Cadillac that Aretha Franklin and Bruce Springsteen would sing about.
So is Dorset or is locked?
What time?
Wow, look at those tail lights. Well, it's just like the thing that holds the magic rock in Mecca.
It really helps. You know, in my position now, I used to do it all. I raced for years. I could take it apart, and I can't do it anymore. If I need to do it, if I can do it, I let it pass. So I'm just too old. That's a lot of work. I mean, it's all right. I don't. Is that original? No. Which is a big deal. My buddy in the Norman finds one I don't know. He couldn't find a
1924. Substituted modern technology.
Again, see?
Tilted spot.